Guys, I can't believe it. I've been waiting so long for this moment. The moment has finally came where I have cracked a six-figure portfolio, can finally say that I have $100,000 invested into the stock market. Now, I started this journey about 3.5 years ago, and to be honest, I don't really feel any richer or poorer. I know that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. To be honest, most of what I say on this channel doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just that I feel the sense of unfinished business. Like, yeah, $100,000 is really nice, but that's not going to solve all my financial independence goals. I can't pay for my expenses with $3,000 in dividends every year. But at the same time, you do have to celebrate the small victories. They say the first 100K is the hardest, and then the rest, it just comes a lot easier. Let's hope that really is true. Now, I wanted to show all of you my progression. I wanted to show you the dates that I first hit different milestones. And this is to show that my portfolio wasn't built overnight, and hopefully it motivates you not to give up on your financial dreams. I actually hit my first 1K milestone back in March of 2018, and it would take over 431 days for my portfolio to hit $10,000. Now, during this time, I was much more focused on paying back student loans. I had just started working my first job out of college. I was building up my emergency savings fund. And now I'm really proud to say that I was able to pay back all my student loans by the time I was 22, because I had just heard so many stories of people's lives being plagued by student loan debt, and I knew I didn't want to fall into that statistic. Now, the way I was able to do that was I worked really hard for 18 months. I sacrificed so much, whether that was living in lower quality housing, not going out as much on the weekends. I deferred a lot of vacations that I'm hopefully now getting to reap the rewards, but I just remember how excited I was making that last student loan payment just a few days before I turned 23. And really, it's a lot easier said than done. I saw a lot of friends and family having fun on social media. It's tough to say no to people, but I always just thought about the end goal and how happy that would make me. And having that ability to delay gratification is how I was able to hit six figures at such a young age. I knew my time was coming, I just had to be patient. That iceberg metaphor example is just so true. We see everything above water, right? We always think everything is easy. We just see the successes in life. But what's below the water is all the hard work, late nights, sacrifices, rejections, doubt, self-doubt, man. All the times I really thought I couldn't do this and thought that I would be a failure. There were just so many times I had to overcome that. It was also during this time that I would spend hours on YouTube educating myself about the stock market. I would learn the history, the different strategies. And I love the stock market because every day is something new, and there's always something new to learn about as well. I also started making YouTube videos in the spring of 2019. My first video was when my portfolio was at like $8,000. One thing that I'm really proud about is that I feel like I was just as excited when my portfolio was $8,000 than today when it finally reached $100,000. So it took a little over 8 months to reach $20,000 in January of 2020, but that's also around the time when the C19 correction happened. Now, the best time to invest was always yesterday, but these types of recessions, we just don't get them very often. It's important to capitalize them the few times it might happen in your life. Now, this was the first time a bull run had been snapped in around 11 years. Stock prices were down like 40% at the very bottom. I was pouring in extra money at this time. Of course, all over the news, people thought the world was literally going to end and that the sky was falling. My only regret during this time was not to invest more. Now, that's what allowed me to reach $30,000 by May of 2020 when the market started to recover a little bit. And that's when the compounding, that's when it really started to work for me. Because after that, it never took me more than 70 days to hit another 10K milestone. I just wanted to highlight here between 91 and 92K, it took me more than a month, which is pretty crazy because I tend to put in about $500 to $700 a week. So that tells you how badly my portfolio was doing during that month. What's even more crazy is that it only took me 23 days to go from 70K to 80K. So if we can get more of those type of days, that would really be great. That's just another part of investing though in the stock market, is that it just doesn't always make sense. You will have hype, you'll have fear mongering, you'll have Wall Street bets. There's so much chatter of get rich schemes everywhere I look. You got really cringy TikTok influencers. but I found that slow and steady definitely wins the race. And I think the sooner that people realize that mainstream media and the news, it's actually just pure entertainment and propaganda. It's meant to keep our minds really busy from actual events going on behind the scenes, rather than spread actual knowledge and information. That's when investing decisions become much easier, is when you're able to tune all that out. You gotta keep your emotions in check, otherwise it becomes super easy to lose a lot of money. I'd also say it's much more important to take your time and to research and buy great companies than it is to get in on speculative investments because you have FOMO. We can see it took me a whole 69 days, what a great number, to get from 90K to 100K, the final leg of this 100K journey. Now let's see how quickly I can get to 200K. One thing I wish I did earlier in my investing career was learn how to do options trading. I feel like I could have made a lot of money doing the wheel strategy these past 3 years, but this is something I only started doing full-time in January of 2021, so I guess better late than never. Alright, so I'm gonna keep it short here. Having this YouTube channel really makes the portfolio updates a lot more fun. I really appreciate everyone who's always tuning in, watching, and leaving a like and a comment. I'll try to have a video out real soon, and you know I'm gonna try and get to 200K even faster, and I'm gonna update all of you on that journey every step of the way. And remember, good things always happen when you buy, stash, and collect cash.